Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here with my deck of panning update. I'm a little bit late with this one. I was supposed to film this earlier this week, but if you are based in the UK as well, probably know why I didn't post it earlier this week, because I didn't have it pre-filmed because I've been away so much over the weekends and I had pre-filmed so much already. And my deck of panning update was the first video I was supposed to film when I got back, but on the beginning of this week, around Monday, Tuesday, we had a massive heat wave here in the UK. We had actually the highest temperature we ever had in the UK, and yeah, it was really hot. Probably I think we had like up to 41 degrees, which I mean for some of you guys probably isn't. I mean it's still high, but probably isn't like extremely high. But you need to think as well, like in the UK we are not built for that kind of weather. Like buildings do not come with AC. The walls aren't isolated enough in the UK, especially here in London, to handle that. And yeah, it was just not ideal, especially living in London. In a big city it gets even warmer, and I actually only live about half an hour drive from where they had the max temperature, which was Heathrow, like Heathrow Airport. I live in southwest London, so it's not too far from where that airport is. So we were struggling a bit, and there was no way I was going to sit in front of my ring light to film, so I just had to push my update and yeah, kind of decide to film. So it got better on Wednesday and it's currently Friday. I'm filming after work on Friday. I also go to the office on Wednesdays and Thursdays as well, so I could not really film those days. So today is the first opportunity I have to film. So I just redid my makeup after work. I am actually by myself today. My boyfriend is out. I do have my dog with me. She's currently chilling out next to me. I have a glass of wine as well that I'm currently drinking. And I thought I would just film a short update from my deck of panning. And this is a very rambly introduction, so without any further ado, if you're new to this project, originally it was started by Emilynmax, and I will have her link down below as well as the playlist with everyone else who's participating. This project was also inspired by Books with Maddie. She did a similar thing with her TBR, so I will have her link down below as well. And if you're new here, please consider subscribing. I would love to have you in family. Let's just get into the video. To be honest, I'm already boiling in front of my ring light, so I'm so happy I didn't film her this week because I do not know how I would have managed. Yeah, I am happy I'm filming now, but I'm gonna jump into my first product. And in this product you always work on 5 items, so I'm gonna start with the one that has been in the longest and move down the list. So the first product that I have in is actually my Stila Glitter and Glow in the shade Smoldering Satin. I rolled this in. Did I have this in from the first month? I might have had it actually, and I know I rolled this in for something glittery, and this is a very sparkly eyeshadow. I have a picture up here of what it looked like last time, and honestly I have not even used this once since, so it looks the same. I do really want to reach for this month. I'm currently doing kind of July panning goals, and I do post them on my Instagram, so if you're not following me there you can check them out there. I do like a checklist on my notes app, and I post them every weekend just to update you where I am with those. And in that kind of July goals, I have a goal of using this one 5 times, but so far I haven't used it once, and it's currently the 22nd, so I am hoping I will reach for it more. I mean, we only have what, like a week left of the month. I mean it's 9 days, isn't it, because we have Saturday, Sunday and then the whole week. But anyway, we have not too many days left, so I need to step up my goal with this. I might do a manicure with this one so that I will get one of my 5 uses that way, but it's probably going to be my like everyday eyeshadows for next week, so expect some better progress next month. I just haven't been able to get to it yet. I've been reaching for other things, and this one just isn't kind of what I've been wanting to reach for. I've been reaching for more warm tones, and also I've been trying to finish up my Venetian red shade in my Panna palette, and with that I've been loving pairing that with golds because it kind of tones it down and makes it a bit more kind of wear it off every day. I think this would work with it too, but it would make it more cool toned and maybe a bit more dramatic as well, because this is more of a dramatic shade, especially in summer. So I think that's kind of why I haven't been using this one, but I'm going to try to use this and make it my everyday shade, like I said, next week. And hopefully I will have some better use. I will definitely have some better use on this next month, because I didn't use it at all, and I want to use it. Probably I'm going to aim to use it like 5 to 10 times next month. I mean, that would be easy, because if I reach my goal of using it 5 times, I just have to reach for it a couple more times next month and I will hit that goal. But hopefully I will have some really good movement on this eyeshadow next month. Oh, and also quickly, if you haven't watched my previous updates, I did deposit it. Obviously it's not in the original packaging anymore, and that is because it was getting really dry, so I could like revive it in here with some Duraline, and it's easy to reach for as well. It doesn't just crumble, and it's like before I used to have to like stick in like what it was called, like a makeup tool to get it out, and it was just so crumbly, so I just put it in here to make it easier to use, and that's why it's in one of my Colourpop Super Shock Shadows container. But that is the first item. The next item on my list is my Becca Under Eye Corrector. This is just a deluxe size sample, so you can see it's not a full size. And this one I believe I rolled in for something you own like duplicates of, or a dupe. No, not a dupe. I think something you own a backup of. It must have been something like that, because I do own a backup of this item, and I'm pretty sure that's why I rolled this one in. And this one, I know I had it in from the start, which means I must have had the Stila Glitter and Glow from the start as well, because I put them in my on my notes app in order of like what's been oldest. So this one looked like this at the last update. I didn't have too much left, and I was hoping to finish it this month, and since then I've used it 26 more times, and this is what it looks like now. So hopefully you can see in there that I have used up every single bit of this item, and it is now done. I'm so pleased to have this finished. It is another makeup empty in my collection, and it's half a point towards my beauty budget. I am currently already working on the next one. It's a full-size one. I think I still have like, I mean, I have the one I started now, and then I have 2 more backups. I have so many of the under eye corrector, because I wasn't sure when Becca disappeared. I thought this product would go as well, and it's my favorite under eye corrector. It really has helped me just get into using less concealer, and it's like, you know, create thin layers rather than like cake on the concealer, and I really love this this product, and I'm happy to use this every day. I do use it every day. I mean, even once I finish this, the next day I reach for the new one because I needed to have it in my life. But this product and the Champagne Pop highlighter, I believe, has been bought by Smashbox, so you can still get it. But I did buy, I think, 1 backup, and then my friend Martina kindly gifted me 2 backups as well that she found in TK Maxx. TJ Maxx if you're in the US, but TK Maxx here in the UK, because she found them there on discount, and she bought 2 for me because she knew how much I love that product. So I have a lot of backup now, which I don't mind, because like I said, I use this every single day, but I'm also happy to have this one out now. And the most exciting part about that is that I get to roll something else in at the end of the video, so I'm going to pull a card for this at the end, so I'm able to replace this one. But that is the second item. Moving on, we have another Super Shock Shadow container, but this one actually does contain a Super Shock Shadow. And this is the Super Shock Shadow in the shade DGAF, which is one of their ultra glitters. And this one comes from My Pet Chooses My Prompt, or my item, and my puppy, or I mean, she's not a puppy, like she's growing so much, Lexi. She picked this one out. You can see the video where she picked it if you want to see that process. That was 2 months ago now. She picked this out. I felt like I wanted to work on my Super Shock shadows, and I also thought that was a good choice for that, because they all have like the same shape. They all very, like, obviously every container looks the same, so I thought it would be the most like fair choice if I put all of them out. And she just picked one of them, which was this one, and I put in a goal of using this one 30 times, and in the first update I used it 3 times, and that is what it looked like after 3 uses. And since then I have used it 2 additional times, and this is what it looks like now. I'm not sure if you can see any progress really, but I have used it. I have 5 uses on it yet, and 25 more to go. I'm definitely behind on this one, but I'm really determined to finish one of my Super Shock shadows in my rolling project pan, because I'm working on 2 of them there, and one of them is like a golden shade, and I'm really trying to push myself to use that as much as I can. And that also means that I'm hindering this progress a little bit, because although they're not the same, I used them in similar looks. Again, with this one I have a goal of using this one 5 times this month, so I have 3 more to go. So hopefully I will have a few more uses on this next month, because I do really want to step up my usage game, because I don't want to take like all year before I roll this one out, because if I continue like it has, I have 5 uses over 2 months, and I have 25 to go. So I mean, I wouldn't even be able to hit my 30 uses goal if I continued like that. So I definitely want to step my usage up, and hopefully have some good progress on this next month. Next up, we have another product that isn't great. I have a couple products that this month that I just am not very proud of the progress with, but I have kind of reasons for all of them. Mainly with eyeshadows, it's just been that I've been too overwhelmed with eyeshadows. And then this one, which is a blush, I rolled in last month, and that is the shade Gina from NARS. I rolled this in for a blush. That was a prompt, and unfortunately that was probably one of the prompts that I was least likely to, you know, least excited about, because I'm currently working on so many blushes. I've been very transparent that I'm overwhelmed with blushes at the moment, so reeling that prompt in was not ideal. But I picked one of my favorite blushes, especially for summer, and that is NARS Gina. However, I haven't not been able to reach for this at all in the past month. My goal with this is to use it 20 times, but 0 uses so far. And the reason for that is because I'm really trying to finish one of my blushes this month, which is my Clinique blush from my rolling product pan. That is another one of my July goals. I want to finish that blush out, and I'll be using that every single day. I'm going to continue using it every single day until it's done. Even if it's not done this month, I'm going to continue using it every single day till it's done. And until then, I am not going to reach for any other blushes. So this one and blushes in my, for example, whole collection product pan has not been touched at all this month, which is, you know, not what I want. I want to reach for every product in every project at least once each month. More than that ideally, but yeah, with blushes again, it's just hard because it's so hard to finish blushes in general. And when you're also working on, like, how many blushes am I working right now? I think 5, probably 6 blushes I think at the moment. So if you're working on 6 blushes and you also 2 of them you're trying to like finish completely, it gets very overwhelming very fast. So that's why I have been neglecting this one, and also why I don't have any uses on this month. So yeah, hopefully I will have some more uses on this next month. I definitely will, to be honest, because I will finish that blush in the next, like, you know, month and a half. Or I mean, yeah, in the next month I guess, but that will definitely be gone in the next month. So when that's done, I'm going to be able to like rotate through the rest of my brushes a bit. Although I do have one more that I want to finish this year, I'm still going to rotate it through the other ones once I finish the one that I'm really focused on finishing. So that is my NARS blush in Gina. Not the most successful, but I'm still happy to have it in the project because I do love this blush. So the final item that I have is one that I rolled in last month as well, and that is my Huda Beauty Mercury Retrograde palette. And I'm trying to think of what I rolled this in for, but I cannot remember for the life of me. I can't remember. I feel like it was something like, it could be like anything. Like it wasn't like a palette specific prompt or an eyeshadow specific prompt. I just remember I wanted to roll this in because I wanted to get some more use out of my eyeshadows, and I rolled it in with no pan left behind kind of style. If you want to look what I did roll this in for, go check out my last video because I cannot remember. But yeah, I wanted to use every single shade in here, and I have actually been able to do so. So this is what my palette looks like now. Yeah, I mean, I already have pan on this eyeshadow before I started this project, but now I have now used every single shade. I think my most used shade in this was Supermoon, which is the like in the corner highlight, because I was able to use that with lots of different looks. I had 2 eyeshadows in here left to use today, so I used them today to do this look. I used a lot of eyeshadows too, but today I used Haze, which is this shade here, to start my crease, and then I used this one kind of like on like this part of the lid, like in my furthest outer corner. I'm using one from my Wilderness palette because I'm panning that palette too in my product Level Up. So the shimmer, like it's the deep blue shimmer in there I used on the outer corner. Then I packed this like on like the middle of my lid, and then on the actual center of my lid I put a clear eyeshadow, and then I put a different shimmer from the Wilderness palette on my inner corner. So a lot of different shimmers, and like I said, I used Haze in my beginning of my crease, but then I used a blue that I'm panning in my Pandos eyeshadows, and lastly another deep blue from the Wilderness palette. So a lot of eyeshadows on my list today, but I literally used the last 2 shades in here. With that I can roll this one out as well. I'm happy that I reached for every single shade. This year I'm trying to reach for every eyeshadow in my collection, so I really enjoyed having this in the project, and it's a beautiful palette, especially for summer. So I really did enjoy reaching for this palette, but I will be rolling this one out. So since I had pan on that palette as well as the under eye corrector, I will be rolling in 2 cards. So I'm shuffling my deck right now. I'm gonna shuffle a couple times and then we can pick 2 cards. I'm excited to see what I get. I love rolling in new things. I'm a bit scared though because I'm overwhelmed with a lot of categories in my collection, but I have shuffled it. I'm gonna cut it. I'm actually gonna cut it just twice, just to make sure that I don't have no idea what's on top. So I just shuffling twice, and I always pick the 2 cards from the top. So let's go ahead and start. The first card we got is 6 of Hearts, And then the second card we're gonna get is 3 of spades. So I'm gonna get my laptop out and check what 2 prompts those are, and I'm gonna pick some things for them too, but let's check what they are first. So 6 of hearts is actually really appropriate for the season. It is, oh, I guess not season yet, but it's a good one because it is autumn. So it's, yeah, something that suits autumn, which is really good because although we're not in autumn yet, we're gonna go into autumn soon, and I'm excited to pull something in for that. And then for 3 of spades, we got double-ended or duo. Ooh, okay. Yeah, I think you don't know I'm going to pick it for that, but yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and pick out my 2 items, or 2, you know, categories, and I will be right back. So I'm back and I have my 2 items, and I might be absolutely crazy rolling in these 2, especially one of them, but I just really like, straight away when I said the prompts, I knew what I wanted to roll in, so I'm just gonna stick with it. Again, I might be crazy. Actually, let's start with a duo, because there was something else that I wanted to roll in when I said duo or double-ended product. I don't really have any double-ended product, I think, in my collection. I think I used to have some, but not anymore. And there is a blush duo from Color Effects that I wanted to roll in. It's the one that I got as a gift, but I have reached for both sides a couple times, but I just really want to play around with it more because I do really like it from the first impression, but I haven't reached for it enough. However, again, I'm so overwhelmed with blushes, I wasn't going to roll that in. So I thought about something else, which is a duo. And I think one of the only few things that I have that is a duo is one of my eyeshadow duos, which is my NARS Alhambra duo, which looks like this. So I think this is one of the only like few eyeshadow duos that I have left in my collection, and I'm gonna roll this one in because, yeah, it's one of the only duos that I can think of. And these 2 shades are easy enough to reach for. I can use this as an I think I can even use both of them as unicorn highlights. I think I could even use this as face highlighters if I want to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll this in with a goal of using each shade 10 times. I think that's going to be fair. Again, they're easy to reach for shades, so I think that will be possible. I do already have pan on this eyeshadow here, but maybe I can expand it a bit. I don't think I'll be able to hit pan on this in 10 uses, but yeah, that is where I am with this one. So 10 uses on each eyeshadow, and that was my goal for the first item, which was a duo or double-ended product. Then for the prompt autumn, which is where I'm thinking that I might be a bit crazy, but I wanted to, when I read this prompt out, I wanted to do something similar to what I've done the last 2 months, which is like a no pan left behind kind of style for one of my palettes, because again, I'm trying to reach for every single palette in my collection, every single eyeshadow in my collection this year. And I just need, like, it's nice to put them in products because I have a reason to reach for those items, and I just get through the palettes way quicker, and it feels like I have an excuse to reach for those shades rather than the ones I'm panning, because I'm panning those ones too, if that makes sense. So I wanted to pick something, and the one palette that is like the most autumnal palette in my collection, no questions asked, is my Natasha Denona Metropolis palette. And I used to say that I've been very overwhelmed with eyeshadows, but I'm just rolling in a 28 pan palette as a no pan left behind style. Granted, I only need to reach for every single shade once, and I don't really have a time limit. I can take, you know, that can take like 2-3 months if it needs to. And I mean, it wouldn't even be that bad because we're still, when I'm filming this, we're almost in August, and you know, autumn doesn't really happen until September. So even if it takes like 2-3 months, that would be fine because that's when we're middle of August. I am missing one shade in here, which is this one here, and I have that in my BYOP at the moment, that's why it's not in here. That is like a really light kind of champagne shade that is more like an inner corner highlight, and that is again in my BYOP. But I'm gonna roll this in for no pan left behind kind of style. I have used most of these shades. I don't think I reached for every single shade, but I did have this in when I first got it as like a 1 week on palette, so I reached for most of the shades then. But I just really want to play around with this. I love this palette, I love the formula, and I wanted an excuse to reach for this one, so I'm going to add it in as my autumn item. Because look at this, like, how can you not say this is autumn? Like, this is just, I think this is the most autumnal palette you could ever get. So that is why I'm rolling this one in, and that is going to be the last item that I'm rolling in. And with that, I'm going to wrap up this video as well. I'm a bit terrified of what I have in this product now because I have so many eyeshadows to work on, and I said, oh, it was already overwhelmed with eyeshadows, but I'm gonna not try to like, you know, rush through this palette. And the good thing with this is most of the shades in here are quite neutral. There's not really like, because with the Huda Beauty Mercury Retrograde palette, the blue and like the minty shades and the blue shades like that I'm wearing today on my eyes, it's really something that I was comfortable wearing in the week to the office. That's why I had to find a place to squeeze them in to hit that goal on them. And obviously filming was perfect, and today I redid my makeup after work, so that's why I wore them. I mean, I probably could have wear them into work, but recently I used to be into neutrals at work. So anyway, but with this palette I can easily reach for these, all of these shades, most of these shades at least, to the office. So I think it will be an easier palette to reach for, although there is more shades, and it will really help out with my kind of usage of my palettes, like my palette wrap up if you've been seeing that, and the percentage of eyeshadows that I use in my collection, because again it is 28 shades. So I'm really excited to roll this in. I'm also excited to roll in that duo, because I do not get enough use out of my singles and my duos and like all of the kind of separately potted eyeshadows. Not my singles in Magnetic palette, but like the actual potted ones. So yeah, I'm really excited about this update and new items, and I really hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And otherwise, I will catch you in my next one. Bye guys.